Well, Stephen, Natasha, Diddy's ex-girlfriend for hire going under the pseudonym Jane was on the hot seat today under cross-examination, providing more details about her business and sex relationship with Diddy and really getting into her jealousy that Diddy was showing a lot of attention and going public with rapper Young Miami.
The fuck, like he called, we should kick it on telephone and after the main.
Right.
And the nigga be like, matter of fact, they sent me the girl pictures, like pictures of this girl, like not the that y'all saw.
Hey, baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the crack pipe.
No one anticipated how deep this love triangle goes, or how it's connected to sex trafficking charges, freak-off parties, and custody threats over a child caught in the middle, but a voicemail with Diddy calling 50 Cent. Baby mama his crack pipe was just played in federal court, and now 50 is going viral online, pulling them both into a public battle that's turning this case upside down. Yes, 50's response is as savage, diabolical, and humiliating as you might expect. But this isn't a rumor. It's a federal scandal that began with a voicemail. It wasn't just some private moment that was secretly recorded. There was evidence played, allowed inside a federal courtroom, and Diddy remained silent while 50 Cent pulled receipts, Instagram posts, parody videos, and private payback that started with a casting decision in BMF.
Hey, baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the crack pipe. That's my new name for you, crack pipe. Or should I call you CP? But, yeah.
He was composed, not intoxicated, and he seemed to find it romantic that this voicemail wasn't from 2006. Prosecutors think the lady on the receiving end was Jane Doe, the unnamed accuser presently testifying, and it wasn't unearthed from the Bad Boy archives. It was played in court in 2025, opposing Diddy in his federal trafficking case. But insiders and social media shout out the quiet part. For fans, Jane Doe's claims to be a Daphne Joy model, businesswoman, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, and mother of 50 Cent's son were the final straw.
And they spent 5 days in a hotel room. Said they had dinner on the balcony, they went all the way, and she let him know that she had a child with someone that he knew. This person did not get along with Diddy, but he said that he didn't.
The court audio went on. And that bombshell wasn't even the worst part, because we all know that 50 Cent and Diddy were romantically involved.
I want you to stay in the light. You know what I'm saying? We had a very, very good time together. Like so much fun. So much fun. Now go rest up. Get in your bag. You know what I'm saying? You got your contract. Find a nice little spot. Put your mind at ease. And yeah, I had a great time.
Contract. Just one phrase abruptly changed the whole tone. It was no longer merely a moniker or strange flirtation, but rather a financial arrangement, a commercial deal, or a transaction wrapped in love.
The prosecutor showed text messages from October of 2023 where Diddy said to Jane Doe, "I want to spend the day with you," and she replied saying, "You make it crystal clear what you want me for," and then she asked him, "You're going to spend the day love bombing me?"
What exactly was this contract, then? According to testimony, Diddy was allegedly paying Jane Doe $10,000 a month for more than just rent. He also paid for her furniture, veneers, and clothing brand. She acknowledged that she wasn't the only woman Diddy did this with, as he allegedly did this with several other women under what insiders now refer to as love contracts. However, for Jane was personal, as prosecutors claimed Diddy enticed her in with intimacy, then trapped her in luxury, making her dependent on him emotionally and physically. And the more she leaned in, the more twisted it became.
Jane Doe calls Diddy a fuck and says she believes he has bi-curiosity. After the short break, Teeny Garagos asked Jane Doe if she was willingly participating in these hotel nights. She said while no one physically forced her at the time, she was a willing participant, saying, "I felt I had to keep the relationship." She also said that the most affection she would receive from Diddy were on these nights and that she liked the parts when it was just him and her.
Court documents, she stated that she was expected to attend drug-related gatherings, sex-related hotel nights, and occasionally prearranged, non-emergent nights with male escorts.
For 24 hours, yeah, you always wanted to set some up. So now you got the opportunity. So set some up for tomorrow night. That last vision we had was Dawn and ATL. See you put it together, baby.
And Diddy allegedly sent her a text saying, "You got me on my job. It will never work like that over here. You need to get on your job." To ensure she understood exactly what her duty was, he added, "You have left me no choice. You have me treating you. I am trying to be clear. I am going to disappear on you," implying that it was her responsibility to look after him and make sure he was content. He reportedly warned her once more when a freak-off went awry, saying, "Look at the roof over your head with that lovely grin. And if that's still a problem, I don't want to do anything." And in spite of everything, she remained until the courtroom forced her to speak if the illusion ever gave way. It was when Jane Doe was being cross-examined and asked a straightforward question. "You gladly receive designer purses?" "No. I have trauma," Jane answered. Jaros inquired, "Are you aware of what a Becca bag is?" Then Jane answered that, "I'm sure you have one." Garagos reiterated his question. "How much does one cost?" Then Jane spat back, "How much does my body cost?" Then, since it was already recorded in her notes, they discussed her jealousy of Young Miami. She testified that Diddy treated Miami like a treasure, with public dates and red carpet appearances, while she said she was being transported in and out like cargo.
With Diddy's former chief of staff, Christina Koram, and asking if they got along well. She testified that KK actually disliked her and that negatively impacted how Diddy would treat her. She said, "I believe she had strong opinions about me, which influenced a great deal of how Sean also treated me." Now, remember in Jane Doe's testimony how she had said that KK told her to fly to Miami with substances in her bag? Well, the defense team pulled up a text message saying it's not written in these texts. Well, Jane Doe confirmed that it did happen, but it happened verbally over the phone.
This explains why Jane's animosity toward Young Miami was more than just emotional. It was also based on legal leverage. She claimed Diddy used the arrangement against her, calling her manipulative and needy, and that she had no choice but to put up with his nights because if she didn't, he would cut off her financial support. At one point, her voice cracked as she talked about trying to hide bruises with makeup after he allegedly choked her during an argument. She told the court that being in Diddy's world was like being in a bubble where nothing felt real. But she also acknowledged that she still craves his attention despite everything. And this is where things got dark. She testified that Diddy didn't just invite her to parties. He sent her instructions on what to bring, what to wear, and when to show up. He also allegedly asked her to recruit others. She continued to show up for hotel nights, text him love notes, and express gratitude to him. And she claimed that to keep them quiet, he offered them perks, flights, gifts, and rent. She also claimed that he was operating what the prosecution now refers to as a freak-off enterprise, which was a network of women who were led into transactional sex with confused consent. She also claimed that the love contract was real, as she proved in court, and that when Diddy asked her what she wanted, she replied that she wanted $15,000 a month. To which he offered $10,000, which she accepted.
Now, first of all, this was not a written contract. This was a verbal contract. You know how you and your man is talking and you asking him for some money to pay some bills. So I guess Jane Doe and Diddy were talking or whatever, and he said, "How much do you want your allowance to be?" And Jane Doe said, "15K. I want my allowance, my monthly allowance to be 15K." And Diddy was like, "No, it's going to be 10K." So they agreed on 10K.
Diddy paid for her furniture and gave her money to launch a fashion line. But she still had to attend the lifestyle. One night, she testified. She said she agreed to an all-star night where she and Diddy would host a hotel freak-off. With their top 3 male performers, she said she wanted out. So she started making excuses and she texted him a picture of pink toilet paper that hinted at her period. He replied, they drafted a 2-year agreement. Don't ask for money again. Because for every sob story there was a designer bag. For every violent moment there was a cash transfer. And for every freak-off night there was a suite and a contract. Even the jury appeared uncertain. But 50 Cent didn't hesitate because the second this courtroom chaos occurred, the court fell silent when those texts were read aloud. Therefore, the question was no longer whether Diddy had too much power, but rather whether Jane was the victim or his favorite plaything. Hit the headlines. He went crazy. He opened Instagram, posted a selfie of Daphne Joy, then captioned it with the year's most sarcastic statement, "Hey, does anyone know who Jane Doe is? I'm trying to research this." The post was removed within hours, but not before screenshots went viral on TMZ and every hip-hop blog. The implication was obvious. During a federal trial, 50 wasn't merely making fun of her, he was exposing her on the largest stage by utilizing her own image, followed by the second post in which 50 Cent and his son, Sire, gave the camera a famous side-eye caption that read, "WTF?" However, 50 went beyond memes. he gathered his AI team and released one of the most brutal parody videos the hip-hop community has ever seen, Freak Off Family Matters, which is a parody of the old sitcom opening, but with Diddy, Daphne, Cassie, Young Miami, and all the names associated with the Freak Off rumors dancing to the tune.
It's a rare condition this day and age to demand a freak off with so much rage. A stranger's addiction that you'll ever find. Some people say that he's losing his mind. Well, then there must be some magic juice inside the pleasure. 'Cause all I see is a chocolate thing. Man, they're busting over everything. Days gone by. It's the biggest break of the sand.
When rumors first started to circulate that Diddy and Daphne were more than just friends, 50 Cent made a subtle power move in 2023 by casting Young Miami in his own show, Yes, BMF, the Black Mafia family drama he executive produces. Most people assumed it was just a collaboration, but now we're seeing it for what it was, a hit job, if you believe that 50 was acting jealousy. Think again. At this time, Daphne was still living in the mansion that Diddy had funded, receiving monthly deposits, and was still bound by her love contract. 50 knew that Diddy was having an affair with his child's mother, but instead of going crazy, he turned it into a streaming check. However, the most embarrassing post of all was saved forth as Happy Father's Day Tiny, was shared by Father's Day 50 instead of a cute picture, or a throwback with his son. I will shortly be granted complete custody. Tiny, you'll return to OnlyFans quickly. Little. And it was messy since, as a result of Daphne's involvement in the Diddy case and her name being linked to the sex trafficking probe, 50 had demanded full custody of their son Sire just months prior, wasn't remaining quiet. In fact, by now, the internet had essentially renamed her, and her next move would go the other way. Jane Doe is a courtroom sketch of Daphne Joy, the freak off receipts. The leaked testimony, every indication pointed to 50 Cent's baby mama, and for a while it seemed like she was drowning in it. However, then she made a clapback and it wasn't subtle. She put on Instagram a personal credo that addressed not just 50, but the entire world. Asterisk a virtual yell. She made it clear that she wasn't taking this lying down by denying Lil Rod's claims, that she was Diddy's paid escort, suing 50 Cent for defamation, and directly accusing him of raping and abusing her. After all, you are no longer my oppressor, and God will deal with you from this point on.
She explained to the jury that love bombing was a very common manipulation pattern that she would get from Diddy, where he would shower her with affection and then he'd want a hotel night. She responded to him again saying, "I'm not an animal people can F on," and he responds with, "You're crazy." She said that he would call her crazy often, especially if she said she was uncomfortable with doing a hotel night.
And she claimed that she knew the cost would be her life. Each time she requested something, such as a new couch, money for her child's dental visit, or anything else. Even after she declined, Diddy reminded her that the cameras were still running and suggested that they just have a movie night instead. "So we left her there." Diddy continues to pay her rent. 50 Cent continues to post memes, and Young Miami continues to ride on the back of Diddy's bike while laughing like the queen of chaos, while still on the stand, still crying, and still testifying against one of the most prominent men.
So I'm just riding around the city, you know. Riding around the city today, we just celebrating. We outside, we painting the city red. It's off the grid. The Love album, Off the Grid, coming out tonight. It's the Super Bowl of R&B. As y'all can see, I'm in my city. And I'm just feeling good. It's a celebration. Feeling vainglorious. Happy birthday to my brother Nas. It's his birthday today. It feels good to be home, good to be putting out great music to all my R&B lovers and fans. Tonight at midnight, it's gonna return to that frequency, that feeling, baby. Yeah.
Oh, because despite everyone pointing fingers and applauding back, the true question isn't who is at fault.